Imagine this. The world's most wanted terrorist, Osama Bin Laden, suddenly wakes up with powers beyond imagination. Flight, super strength, laser vision, the ability to reshape the fate of nations. For one day, he's not hiding in caves. He's not plotting in secret. He's above the clouds, and America is his playground. Which state will be his first target? New York? Washington, D.C.? Texas? Or somewhere no one would ever expect? The nation watches in horror, sirens wail, fighter jets scramble. And meanwhile, the president, well, he's huddled in a bunker, clutching a cheeseburger and asking the aides, "Are we safe?" The question isn't if he will strike, it's where he will strike first. And once he makes that choice, nothing, and no one, will ever be the same. America is about to find out. Sometimes the most terrifying superhero isn't saving the world. He's just deciding who to scare first. The morning started like any other. People sipped coffee, children ran to school, and office workers groaned at alarms. Then, the sky tore apart. A blur faster than any jet ripped through the clouds, and there he was, unmistakably hovering above Houston, his cape flapping, eyes glinting. News alerts flashed everywhere. Breaking unknown flying figure over Houston. Witnesses say, Bin Laden? Panic spread instantly. But here's the twist. He wasn't attacking. Not yet. He hovered, seemingly watching, almost thinking. What was he planning? Would the world witness chaos? Or something even stranger? Minutes later, disaster struck downtown. A chemical plant caught fire. Flames spread fast, threatening hundreds of lives. And then, he moved. Faster than anyone could track, Bin Laden lifted massive steel beams, carried trapped workers to safety, and extinguished the blaze with a flick of his hand. The world watched in disbelief. The man who had caused unimaginable suffering was now saving lives. Was it a change of heart, or something darker, something calculated? Governments were scrambling, analysts were stunned, and millions of Americans whispered, could this be redemption? But hang on. The next hour would make everything even more unbelievable. Across the country, satellites tracked him. Fighter jets tried to intercept May and failed. He moved faster than radar, deflecting missiles, stopping explosions in midair. He hovered over New York, then Washington, D.C., then Texas. No one knew where he would strike next, and then a rural town in Oklahoma faced a deadly tornado. Without warning, he swooped down, guiding the storm away, saving hundreds. For a brief moment, the world cheered. But the question lingered. Was this heroism or a demonstration of power? No one could guess what he would do next. And no one wanted to be on the wrong side when he decided. Now the world was not just scared, it was confused. The man who had once been a symbol of terror now had the ability to save or destroy entire nations. Inside his mind, something had shifted. Could he undo the past? Could he stop wars? Could he save lives he had never valued before? Imagine the inner turmoil. Every choice weighed like a mountain. Every human life suddenly visible to him. Every potential tragedy and triumph in his hands. And then, a shocking scene. He hovered over a refugee camp, watching children play in the dirt. Tears streamed down their faces, not from fear, but joy. And he paused. Something inside him stirred, something no one had ever seen before. Of course, the world could not sit still. Governments mobilized, missiles flew, fighter jets streaked across the skies. But nothing could touch him. He moved like lightning, catching bullets mid-air, redirecting explosions harmlessly. And then, someone appeared. A vigilante, armed with advanced tech and a personal vendetta, challenged him in the empty streets of Las Vegas. The confrontation was tense. Words were exchanged, emotions flared. And here came the shocking truth. The vigilante had proof that Bin Laden could have ended wars, stopped pandemics, but chose not to. The audience is left questioning. Would he finally confront his sins? Or continue history's nightmare? Hour by hour, he moved across cities. Then, he visited the families of his victims, Mothers weeping, fathers shaking, children staring in horror. And for the first time, he saw them. Not as numbers, not as enemies, but as humans. He felt their grief, their loss, their anger. Some forgave him, not because they condoned his past, but because they realized he was confronting it. It was a moment of vulnerability that no one expected. The terror of history, suddenly humanized. For one day, the world saw a different side of him. A terrifying, yet strangely relatable side. As the clock ticked down, he faced the ultimate choice. He could wreak unimaginable havoc, annihilate his enemies, or leave the world changed in subtle ways. And then, the moment came. In a single, blinding flash, he chose neither destruction nor domination. He vanished. Before leaving, he broadcasted a cryptic message. Power is meaningless without conscience. History will judge, but the moment is yours. The world was stunned. Governments were scrambling. Citizens were left asking themselves, could someone who caused so much pain truly change in a single day? The next day, the skies were empty. News outlets replayed footage endlessly. Analysts debated, philosophers pondered, citizens whispered, and the president? Still in the bunker, nervously checking Twitter, eating the last slice of leftover pizza, mumbling, "Next time, I'm moving to Canada." People couldn't stop asking, what really happened? Was this redemption, a new threat, or just a terrifying glimpse of what one man could do with unlimited power? So, the day Osama Bin Laden became Superman came and went, and the world was never the same. Cities were saved, lives were spared, and yet, questions linger. Now it's your turn to think. If someone who once terrified the world could suddenly wield this kind of power, what would they do next? Save us? Destroy us? Or something no one could even imagine? And ask yourself, if you had that power for one day, would you dare to change the world? Or let fear decide for you?